Hey, got a funky background. I don't care. Hi, Jeannie. How you doing? We actually got to talk about a couple of things tonight. Been a long week. Been a hard week. Really hard, to say the least. Yesterday, I went in supposedly to do some testing and get some results from a PET scan I had earlier in the week. I was supposed to have an MRI, but somebody blew up the MRI machine, so it'll be a little while for that one. Anyway, our physician's assistant came in and she was all smiles and telling me how good she had good news for me. And then she looked at the paperwork I had filled out ahead, and she said I was putting a damper on her good news. But I got my PET scan results. I've had one actual chemo treatment, and they were thrilled. It seems the tumor in my lungs has shrunk. One in my throat shrunk. There's another one that's shrunk. So that's all good news. That's all good signs. So we're off on a fly there. However, I have felt like crap. And they did some tests, admitted me to the ER, and then admitted me for the night in the hospital. They pumped me through with antibiotics. Said I had a mild case of pneumonia. I had some sepsis. So they put me on IV antibiotics and fluids. And kept me overnight, hooked me up to more wires and cables than I could count. I got to talk to a doctor by remote. They called it a robot. It's not a remote robot. It's a remote access thing. It worked. Anyway, so when I got through talking to him, they stuck more antibiotics in me. And then this morning they started running some tests, and I got to talk to the doctor again, and they said my response to the antibiotics was excellent, and I could get out of there today. And I did. I got out of there before lunch today. So we're off and running again. I got no more appointments this week, so I don't know what's going on after this. But I know that when we start over, we're going to try just immunotherapy and run a couple of sessions on that, and then run another PET scan and see if that's anything or if I need to get back to the actual chemo treatments. So now you're caught up. I'm exhausted. Linda's exhausted. She's been a trooper through all this. But I feel better right now than I felt all week. I've actually got a little bit of energy. I'm walking better. Things are improving. We're getting a little better. All right, that's all I have. I really don't have much positive report. If any of y'all have questions or answers, jump in here. Because I'm ready to listen and talk. Whatever. I got a few minutes. I'll put it in your laps. Y'all got anything you want to say, you want to ask? Any news you want to share? we'll go for that. I'm up for it. I'll give you a few more minutes. And then I'm going to see about getting some supper and maybe going to bed early again tonight. When they put you in the hospital to rest, rest is not a real word. Sometime about 1 o'clock, somebody at the opposite end of the hallway dropped a tray in the middle of the floor. Then this morning, after I got woke up and had a chance to actually nod back off, there's a kid there somewhere that was screaming his head off. So, yeah, even the nurses admitted that. I will say this much. The doctors and nurses have been absolutely wonderful. And if you're ever in the ER and there's a Dr. Witt there, you're going to like him. He's a straightforward, no BS kind of guy. And when he talks to you, he speaks to you in English, American, layman terms. He don't try to blow you away with big words and all that. So that's something. Young guy. I don't know how young. If I was looking at him in first glance, I would say he's still in his 20s, but I guess he's probably early 30s. And I think he must be doing his internship in the ER, or residence anyway, because I asked him if he was still going to be there when I was wheeling around, and he said he was going to be there at least another 40 hours. So sounds to me like he's doing his residency and putting in lots of hours. He's got to be a tired man. Anyway, I got to harass Haida Jolie while I was there. I always enjoy that. She was working. Any of y'all got anything? Jeannie's the only one here that knows how to talk. I know there's more of you out there. Rosie's out there. Rosie, I got good news and bad news, so that's something. Any news is news. But we're doing the fishing thing and drilling down to see what works and what doesn't. So we'll go from here. Now, if you all missed this from the beginning, it'll still be here. You can go back and start over from the beginning. Yeah, Rosie, we like good news. I sure didn't feel like it when I got it, but I knew it was good news. I just knew there was other things going on too. So there you go. You're caught up. Got any questions? Got any answers? Nobody got anything. Well, I'm going to try for some serious rest tonight. They gave me some sleeping pills to take, gave me some oral antibiotics to take over the next 10 days. See if we can't get some of this knocked in the head. But honestly, I feel so much better today than I did yesterday. It's unbelievable. So something worked last night. I guess it was worth it. Oh, those are the most uncomfortable beds I think I've ever seen. We're just going to keep plugging, Rosie. Just going to keep plugging, one step at a time. But I've decided I'm going to take some of the control. We're going to do some filtering and decide what works and what doesn't. If it takes all three to make it work, then we'll do all three. But we're going to start with the immunotherapy and see if that's doing any good. All right, guys, you're caught up. Nobody but Rosie and Jeannie talking to me, which is fine. That leaves me in good company. Linda's been a trooper through all this. She's been humping along, keeping her pace. I know she's got to be almost as tired as I am. So we'll give her a, hi, Julie. We'll give her a thumbs up for that. She's going to hit a burnout point pretty soon. I'm pretty sure of it. All right, guys. What do you got? Hi, Jennifer. How are you doing? I did a morning weather from the hospital bed this morning. I did it both as a reel and as a regular go live. That thing's had over 500 views. That's pretty good for that. The go live got over 100, and the reel pulled 400 and some odd. So I was kind of shocked to see that. Remember, tonight we're on QRAZ Radio 102.7 on Facebook. We're on Dale's Place on Facebook. And we're on QRAZ Radio on YouTube. And we're still the most accurate weather forecast for Adrian. It's because we're the only weather forecast for Adrian. It's still out there. Jeannie, you haven't missed anything. There wasn't much to miss anyway. I was in a dark room holding my phone in front of me and talking to it. A la Doug Mager. All right, guys. Anybody got anything they want to say before I get out of here? Done about enough for tonight. We'll see you next time. I'll be back in the morning for weather, I hope. Nothing goes wrong between now and then. Y'all take care. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Try to be nice to each other. And we'll see you either in the morning or next Wednesday, whichever one you show up for. Good night, all.